There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. Some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
Ladies and gentlemen, to another round of the Supercheap Auto East Coast V8 Series Season 11 Round 3, coming to you from one and only Belle Isle in Detroit. I'm John Van Ree. With me tonight I got Mark Duggan. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, very good, John. Good to be here. Could be a tricky night for some of these drivers with this new damage model on such a tough track with lots of danger at every corner.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing how these boys handle. Let's have a quick look at that track map. We start finish straight on Belle Isle, of course. Only part in the United States of America where Canada is south below. And we start swinging through turn 1, where we go through the right-hander sweeper into the sweeping turn 2, where we've got to be very careful going over the bridge of the canal there, where the car will get loose and find the wall on the outside. We then head down Central Avenue to turn 3, where we've got to pull the car up, one of the two major overtaking points on the circuit. So we've got to pull up hard right into Fleming Straight, where we then sweep through turn 4, sweep through turn 5, Picnic Way, where we go up over the bridge, and then turn right onto the Strand. It is the second long straightaway of the circuit. Not a straight line, makes it a little bit harder to overtake, but if you get it right, you can get the job done going into turn 7, into the casino complex, or as I like to call it, the cricket pitch, because it's one of two concrete synthetic wickets that are located on the oval around Belle Isle. And sort of come through turn 7, go through triple right-hander, triple left-hander through turns 8, 9 and 10. Pull the car hard up, slowest corner on the circuit into 11. Make sure you don't get too much curb there, otherwise it will throw you out against the wall at Sunset. And we head down Sunset Drive, take a sweeping right-hander, and then the fast-flowing turn 13 and 14 down Sunset Drive to start-finish straight. It is a bit of an epic circuit, as Mark said. It's a concrete jungle. Very interesting to see how these drivers handle it this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tight, it's twisty, it's bumpy, and as John said, it's a concrete jungle. So, yeah, the boys are going to have their work cut out from tonight. But with the V8 series, we've been here plenty of times before, so most people know their way around here. But that doesn't mean you don't make that critical mistake at some point.
Yeah, very easy to do around this place. As it also, the other thing we should be talking about as well is the format this evening is a sprint race format. So basically what we mean by that is we are doing 2 100 races. So the guys are doing 27 lap races, and it will be full on for these lads. And then it's one compulsory pit stop in each race. Only have 17 incident points. And then to top that off, race 2 will have a top 15 reverse grid. Because tonight, drive smarter, not harder. That will be sorted.
Yeah, definitely a top 15 reverse grid around this track will make racing interesting for race 2, that's for sure. The other thing that's going to be tough going out there is qualifying. Very tight and twisty track, and if you're out of sync with the rest of the field, it's going to mean you're going to make it tough for yourself out there alone and trying to duck and weave between traffic.
Trying to duck and weave out of the way. So tough for a few of these lads. See what happens. Yeah, very interesting. James Scott, of course, will be the man to watch. As we know, James, very, very good qualifier, getting the job done. But have it up against him tonight. There are some good guys in this field. Keep an eye out for the likes of Jordan Ross, Jacob O'Reilly, own teammate Dylan Rudd.
Yeah, definitely plenty of quality in the field, John, and yeah, you really need to try and get that banker lap early, just to take the pressure off the rest of your qualifying. If you can get that banker lap in, then you really relieve the pressure valve on yourself, and it allows you to be a little bit more, throw caution to the wind, so to speak, on your second and third runs.
Of course, can't dilly-dally with your approach here, because you've got to remember too, with the heat format of doing 2 sprint races, the quali goes dead at 15. Don't get to complete your lap. So we have a new driver with us this evening, Josh Horton, another one of the Vermeulen Motorsports guys.
Yeah, I just did notice Josh was in the server. Don't know too much about him personally, but if he's racing with Vermeulen, we know these boys have a pretty solid team, and you know, we expect Josh to go pretty well out here tonight.
He's already started his lap. Definitely getting on top. This lap here, Jacob O'Reilly looks like he's going to be the first one though to get a full lap in. Jacob. Retro White sitting a purple sector towards the end there. So these first ones basically be your bankers. As Retro White comes through, and 13 now heading down through the sweeper to the start-finish straight. And he's going to be the first one across the stripe. That's a 1:28, already 1:27.78. James Scott coming through. Jordan Ross, I think, might be the man to watch looking down the order. He comes across the swipe. He only gets himself 1:27.8, 1:27.6 from Scott. And Dylan Rudd slots himself into 4th. So seen a few of these boys already strike first blood here. Brady Baldwin a little bit off the pace. I've got his banker lap in. He's on the board. Couple who didn't get a lap. Dave Coleman into the pit lane. Wallace into the pit lane. Visma into the pit lane. Very, very easy to get a 0x.
Visma looked like he got big damage on the rear of his car, so he'll need to get a fresh car and go again.
Main Street. The tyre wall there. A dent in the front of that machine. Waits patiently to get himself back out in line. That will not mean Stone Street did get a time though in that first run, so it's done relatively well. Omani. Stripe. Gets himself into 11th. He'd be pretty happy with that time. Bisma coming out of the pits to have his second crack at it. Definitely looking forward to seeing what he can do. The other boys are all rolling back into the lane. Quite racy. known for doing some good times. So it's going to be a tough circuit for these lads.
You know, Visma and Coleman look like they've put a bit of pressure on themselves by not getting that banker lap in first time around. So they will have to try and get one this time. We've already got nearly 6 minutes gone out of the 15, so you don't want to be wasting too much more time out there.
You don't have much time to waste. Up on board with Dave Coleman. No drive. Sunset. Plenty of concrete to bite. Very rough circuit as well. Makes it rather difficult for these guys to be able to get themselves around. Coleman do here. He's ready to start his lap. Third rides the curb. Got to get over the hump here without too much balance. Does a great job of that. Now down the long straightaway. Down to the end of Central Avenue. Pulls it up. A little hot, but gets away with it. The Fleming straight. Using a little bit of curb. A little bit of gap there on the left. Staying away off the walls a little bit here. Coming through. About to head down the strand. Right out to the wall. Full throttle now. Hanks the car up through the gears. Speeds in excess of 200k. He's got to pull it up hard now for the right-hander here. Nicely gets it around. You've got to balance the throttle, balance the bumps, balance the brakes. The guy's getting out of his way pretty well here. In, pulls it up, gets it on the Sunset Drive. Looking for the 300 metre board here. On the brakes again, pull it up, sweep it through, all the way out to the wall. Sweep it through again, get the power down right, don't want to get too much wheel spin. Looks like Coleman might have pulled this one off here. He sweeps across and gets across the line. And Dave Coleman in the top 10. That is a remarkable effort from the Super 2 driver. Down a bit further back, James Scott going green on all sectors again. Back in the Ryco livery tonight. Leaps through, Rudd behind him. James Scott looking to improve his time. Crosses the line and improves to the 127.47. Absolutely flying. Dylan Rudd, a 127.7. So Dylan Rudd pops up the order. So that is a great result for Dill.
Yeah, Ryco 1 and 2 at the moment. Yeah, James Scott improved by about 2/10 there, so that was a cracking lap from James. Dylan Rudd also about 2.5 tenths behind James with a 127.7. So Ryco boys looking pretty good out there. Yeah, and what a great lap from Dave Coleman. Looked very balanced. The car looked very good across the curves, which is what you need around here.
Yeah, looking very stable.
Also, I saw Anthony Visma head back into the pits after doing his out lap, so I don't know what went wrong there, but he's really starting to cut his time fine with only 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, plenty of work to be done by there. Retro White gets himself third still. He's still parked there on his exit lap now, so he's probably only going to get one more shot at this. Gordon Ross knocked back to 4th. Synergy Sim Racing. Quite well. Keep an eye out on O'Reilly. Keep an eye out on Stone Street as well. James is the other one who's got purple sectors moving forward. He's on a lap as well. Yellow on sector 3 though. Let's see what he sector 4. Angus looking like he's going to improve as well as James comes around. Sweeps around Sunset Drive, heading down to the start-finish line now, but he heads into the pits. Michael Angus was the other one to improve, so he can get himself into the top 10. And he crosses the stripe and improves himself to 9th, going above Hort. Movers and shakers. Still a few guys out on track. Rattray White had a couple of green sectors, but he's had a yellow sector as well for sector 1. Trying to improve his chances here. See if he can get onto that front row, get rid of that lockout by the Speed Cafe Love Esports team.
Visma about to cross the line. Looks like he's finally got a lap under his belt.
And he jumps into 10th. The Viz getting busy.
Yeah, good job there from Viz. He was under pressure there to get that lap done, and in the end he done a great job out there just to sneak inside the top 10 there.
And the other one, just keep an eye on here. Justin Wallace is sitting 8th. He has set a purple sector to yellow sectors, but he set a purple sector for sector 2, so that's pretty impressive. Obviously a little bit of pace in the electrical race on Oz entry. Doesn't improve his time, he stays 8th. Have a quick look. James Scott is on his last lap. Onto the chest cam. Always what you expect from James, very smooth. Look to improve on this lap though. Yellow sectors.
No, he does improve, John. He goes to 127.387.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Must have been very quick in those last sector. Thought he will be very happy with that one.
Dylan Rudd goes quicker as well, but only a couple of hundredths quicker.
Yep, O'Reilly. Head down the back straightaway.
We only got 10 seconds to go, John, so
Yep.
not
Not going to make it. Looks like he's had a bit of a knock on the front there as well.
I don't think anybody's going to get another across the line here.
No. That's that out. So let's have a quick look at the grid. Comes up. So on pole will be James Scott, and he will line up alongside his teammate Dylan Rudd. Then on the second row, we have Zach Rattray White from Vermeulen lining up alongside Jordan Ross from Synergy. Jacob O'Reilly from Vermeulen in 5th. Lines up alongside Aidan Kale from the electrical race on Oz. What a great result for Aiden, only been with us for a couple of races. Michael Angus from Fishy Motorsports in 7th, lines up alongside Anthony Sim Sports in 8th. In 9th is Brady Baldwin from Synergy Sim Racing, lining up alongside Craig Schultz from Nine Save Sim Sports. Tom Freer is in 11th placing, up along. He's having fun. He should be lining up alongside Josh Horton. And on the next row of the grid, it's Jeff Thomas. Let's go back, is it last? I think first of the Super 2 drivers lining up alongside. Go to overall. Yes, that's better. So we have Justin Wallace in 9th, Michael Angus in 10th, Anthony Visma in 11th, and our Super 2 driver, Josh Horton, leads them in 12th there. And in 13th, we've got Dave Coleman, 14th, Joe Marnie, and over the page we have Martin Lofthouse lining up alongside Steve Tonkin, JWM Sim Sports. Brady Baldwin from Synergy Sim Racing in 17th. Craig Schultz from 9.5 Sim Sports in 18th. Reg James from WK&P will be 19th, lining up alongside Tom Freer, who didn't set a time. Ash Barella, not sure is in the server, but set a time. And our safety car driver tonight is Matt McMillan, and race control is. I think we are in for an epic battle here, Mark.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty tough going these opening couple of laps, but like I said earlier, these boys have raced here plenty of times before. They know what to do, but it's only going to take one incident to catch out a whole heap of drivers caught behind that incident, because the track can get blocked very quickly around here.
Yeah, and one thing that I noticed with a few laps I've done around this place, before tyre barriers were forgiving, tyre barriers and bounce the car off, basically bounces the car to damage. So it'll be very interesting to see how these guys go. Can't push it right out to the tyre barriers like able to. Damage model, we have a bit to play tonight. One compulsory pit stop. Don't be surprised. Safety car comes out more than once. So we're about to get going shortly. With complete gridding, lights are about to go on. 3, 4, 5. Lights are out. We're away. Scott gets a good jump. Dylan Rudd bogs it up. Allows Jordan Ross to sweep inside. As James Scott leads him through turns 1 and 2. As we now head down the Central Avenue for the first time. The whole field spread out. Only 21 cars. But we are going to get through with a clean start here by the looks.
So far so good, but there's plenty of twists and turns to come yet.
As we now come on to Picnic Avenue, across the canal, and turn it down the Strand for the first time. This is the first opportunity these boys get to open up the throttle. And it should all be clean, settled in. Boys have spread out a little bit. Scott's already got himself half a second up the road. As you can see, a couple of little gaps appearing. Jordan Ross in the thick of it there between Retro White and Dylan Rudd. Jacob O'Reilly here on board with here, doing really well. And it's to stay stationary, starting position. As we're about to complete lap 1 for the first time. Putting Ross under a lot of pressure from Dylan Rudd. Looks like we have had a great start.
So that was a great opening lap from the boys. I was just keeping an eye on Tom Freer there while in the chopper cam. Tom's starting from around P20, 21 I think. And he's already up to, I think, P14. So Tom making a great start there from the rear of the grid.
Yeah, doing very well. As we know Tom can do. Very, very quick driver.
Yeah, absolutely, and probably a pretty risky move starting from not setting a qualifying time. We often see Tom do that, but on this track with this new damage model, that was a risky move, but certainly rewarding himself now with some great overtaking manoeuvres.
Dylan Rudd is the man trying to make the moves here. He's tucked up right behind Jordan Ross. Definitely see that Synergy Sim Racing Falcon, sorry, Mustang right in front of him. See from this view how bumpy this track is.
Yeah, it is really bumpy around here, and Dylan will be pretty disappointed with the lethargic start he got. He just got the wheels spinning and saw the smoke coming up, and yeah, the two boys behind him got in front of him pretty quickly, and it's going to be a tough ask because we know the quality of Jordan Ross, Jacob O'Reilly, Zach Rattray White, all the drivers around him are very high quality drivers, and this place is definitely not an easy place to put a move on.
Not many opportunities. Brady Baldwin last lap was involved in an incident, so I might just have a quick look at the Supercheap Auto replay on that one. This of course is down Casino Complex. Just gets a little loose, manages to keep it off the wall, going to lose a few spots. Very lucky didn't get involved with anybody there. See Dylan here really working over Jordan Ross.
Dylan probably got just a fraction more pace than Jordan in front of him, but just can't do anything with it. So Jordan, a very experienced campaigner, knows how to place the car in the right position. Jordan done plenty of laps around this track, so Dylan really going to have to work hard for this one.
Yeah, it's definitely making work. James Scott's cleared out till second and a half. It's going to go back, have a look a little bit further. Justin Wallace. It's putting a bit of pressure on Stone Street, and a little bit of a battle behind him with Thomas and Visma. And then of course Aidan Cale hanging on to the back of this group with David Coleman.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight little bunch here, and these boys are all pretty evenly matched, and you really rely on somebody to make an error to push themselves wide or bounce off a curb somewhere so you can sneak up the inside.
Yeah, definitely a bit of work to be done. Watching what's going on in front. And also strategy comes into play a little bit here as well. Now that we haven't had that early safety car.
Yeah, the risky move, the undercut, you may get an early benefit, but then again with this track, a safety car can come out on any lap. You know, it's not just going to be the opening lap. It's quite possible you're going to have a car stuck somewhere that can't make its way back to pit lane under its own steam. So yeah, there's always going to be a risk of a safety car around here, and we may see everybody go as long as possible tonight.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the good strategic battles with this circuit. Sprint format, we haven't done this for a season or two here at East Coast.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done the sprint format, and I guess, you know, if you're in the middle of the pack here, I mean, rolling the dice on a different strategy probably wouldn't do you any harm. We've got a reverse grid top 15, and if you've got a little bit of confidence in your speed, you would like to think you'd be able to get inside that top 15 for a decent grid position.
bit twitchy there from Thomas. Careful of this new damaged model. Scrape a wheel too much like that, you will wind up with your rear wheel pointing in a different direction. Isma nicely tucked in here. Go back. Sorry, Tom Freer. What's got scenic mode? Tom Freer moving himself up to 12th now. He's doing relatively well. And Aidan Cale still under a lot of pressure from the one and only Dave Coleman. Little battle going on with these group of drivers.
Not sure if Josh Horton has dropped out. His ping is very high. I did see a car flashing in front of Tom Freer earlier on in this lap, and it quite possibly was Josh Horton because I can't see him on track at the moment.
Yeah, he's flickering up and down in SDK, so not sure. He's got a very bad ping. Jordan Ross has been passed by Dylan Rudd. Dylan's now putting pressure on Zach Rattray White. A little bit of movement up the front. Camera. Please.
Yeah, well done to Dylan. He looked like he got that move done down the end of the strand there. Made a late dive under brakes and got the job nice and cleanly. So he's now set his sights on Rattray White, and so he can see if he can get back on terms with his teammate James Scott, who's out front.
Yeah, closing very quickly as well.
There's still 20 laps to go, John, which around this place can feel like forever because you do not get a break around here.
Yeah, it is one of those circuits, I was saying before that, coming down the strand, it's not even a straight run.
No, and it's bumpy, so you feel like you're working anyway. So, yeah, like you just feel like there's, you know, it's relentless around here. There's nowhere to catch your breath.
James Scott now at the 3.7 seconds. This is the battle for second we're looking at the moment, for second and third. See that O'Reilly is now lashed onto the back of Ross as well. Driving here from Jacob. Bit bumpy from Jordan. Jacob gets a bit of the run here. He's forced to the outside. Too wide. Ooh, and contact. Looks like the Vermeulen car is damaged. Looks like Ross is damaged as well. We may see that safety car. This is what we're talking about. Ross has got it going, but that Vermeulen car, I think, may have some steering issues as he's trying to crab to get it moving again.
It only wants to go one way, and that's to the right by the look of it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get that back. That back wheel's not even rolling, and he's actually jumped to the pits, so didn't even call for a tow. And that just keeps the battle rolling on up front and has bunched that pack up a bit more. Dave Coleman now on the back of Aidan Kale. And Jordan Ross has made pit lane.
Not sure if Jordan's got some issues. It just looked like his car is lacking some top end speed, so I'm not sure if he's got some damage somewhere, but even when Dylan come past him earlier, it just looked like that top end speed wasn't there. So
Yeah, I was thinking might have been the case. And damage the engine a lot more too. To your damage model. A few of the boys have been blowing motors, heavy downshifts, a little bit more than usual. Coleman having a great battle here, tucked up behind Aidan Kale.
yeah, this battle's still raging. Big Michael Angus on the radio to race control.
Oh, Coleman a bit twitchy there. Hope he didn't brush the wall. Have a quick look. See what's going on with Michael Angus. Everything looks straight there. The nose there. It's pretty straight for Michael.
I think he was actually complaining about Josh Horton flashing in and out.
Yeah, I think I just seen him a second ago. Brody Baldwin, Steve Tonkin involved in an incident. Let's have a quick look at that one, Mark.
Yeah, they're both in the wall, so
Ooh, that's a big hit. Front off the car there, and Baldwin into him as well. So, expect that one to lead to the safety car, I think.
yeah, safety car's been called, John.
Just watch this again. See Tonkin into the wall. Bounces off, nowhere to go.
Rattray White was able to get in pit lane, but I think James Scott and Dylan Rudd
And Coleman, yeah.
James Scott was past the pit lane, so this is a pretty big advantage here for Rattray White.
Just trying to find where the safety car is. Safety car has picked up Michael Angus. So those two boys are still in front of the safety car. They won't get held up time-wise on track.
Safety car's gonna pick up Rattray White by the look of it.
Yeah. Of course, safety car brought to you by Complete Scaffold. In the need for some scaffolding on the south coast of New South Wales. Give Pete and his team a call. I'm sure that they can definitely help out. Yeah, Rattray White has been picked up with the safety car. Going to be very interesting. It's waved them by, have they? Yep, waving them all by. They're going to pick up James and Dylan. Is what I thought you'd do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they held them up because they were coming past the cars in the wall, and there's only one line through there. That's why Rattray White got held up behind the safety car as the safety car went through them two damaged cars there.
Scott's back on the circuit. Rudd's back on the circuit. The big The big winner will be this bloke here, Dave Coleman, I think.
So I was thinking Rattray White was going to get a big advantage, but with them two stranded cars blocking track and only allowing one lane through there, they actually got caught behind the safety car as the safety car went through there.
Just allowed the ability to attack the gap. As back to the safety car. He's waved everybody by now. He's waiting. James Scott is in pitch complex. We've had a safety car for a few races. Rides. Pretty much in stint, so perfect timing for everybody. Picked up the safety car, so has Dylan. Coleman's gotten out and
Justin Wallace has had to tow as well. I'm not sure, he must have had a incident after he pitted.
Here's Mr. Coleman in P3. 10 spots. Out among pigeons. Angus will come in. Stone Street will be. What's Angus up 6 spots? Bismarck up 5 spots in 6th. As we said, the big loser, Rattray White.
Looks like Rattray White has left the server.
Fair enough. Yep. Time has stopped. Riley out of the race as well. Didn't it? Gordon Ross. Brady Baldwin saying he guessed the wrong way. Do it for you, Brady. Yeah, done that. Going this lap. Just under half race distance. Very interesting to see how the restart pans out. In that go green. Yeah. Gonna go one more lap under the safety car. Pit auto replay. What happened to Tonkin coming out of the pit? Stopped because it closed. That is not see there. Having a look a bit further back. James is up 4 spots. Joe Marnie is in 15th still. Have Craig Schultz from 95 Sim Sports up 5 spots. 13th. Chorton sitting in 12th. Where he started, Martin Lofthouse, JWM, has meant himself up 4 spots. Of course, earlier on, shuffled back down the order. He's in 10th. Tom Freer started rear of grid. He's in 11th. Great drive from Tom. Aidan Cale got himself still in 8th position. Jeff Thomas is down 1 and 7th, still in the top 10. Anthony Visma up 5 places in 6th. Roy Stone Street up 2 places, in 5th. Michael Angus up 6 places in 4th. One of the big winners out of the safety car. Biggest winner out of the safety car of all, of course, is David Coleman, sitting in P3. Eye out, Crafty Fish. See what he can do, as Dylan Rudd started on the front row with James Scott. Safety car. About to get racing again. Play this lap, so expect the safety car to pull away. Get going.
Yeah, so we've got 13 laps to go. Dave Coleman's has pulled a great strategy here to elevate himself up onto the podium, and with O'Reilly, Rattray White and a few other drivers damaged and not in the race any longer, he's in a pretty good position, John.
Yeah, definitely open here. Safety car is in pit lane. James Scott will now have control of the field. Taking him all the way to the line. And we are green flag racing. James Scott leads Dylan Rudd. Looks like it's going to be fairly clear heading down Central Avenue for the 15th time. As Jordan Ross gets past Aidan Cale in the background. Sorry, Mark.
I was just going to say, good jump there from Dave Coleman as well. He was able to go with the 2 Ryko boys, but when James took them all the way to the line, David knew exactly when they were going to jump, so he was ready to go with them. But Jordan Ross with a big dive down the inside of Jeff Thomas gets it done. Sorry, that was Tom Freer, not Jordan Ross. Similar colour scheme. But yeah, Tom Freer starting from rear of grid and has sliced his way through the field. Probably in P7 now.
Yep, P7 for Freer. Ross in P9. Tom having an absolute blinder.
Stone Street with a big wriggle coming out of turn 2 there.
Open the door up. Visma's having a look on the inside. And does Freer almost stuck his nose in there as well. Tucks in behind Stone Street.
Did very well to pull that up and not lose control of the car.
Has another look on the inside. Josh Horton's been involved in an incident. We'll have a look at that a little bit later. Great little battle here. Blower might be in trouble.
Looking like he's called for a tow as well.
Go to Supercheap Auto replay. He's just found that tyre barrier, like I was saying. You don't bounce off him anymore. Car is not turning. So I'd say that is broken front end suspension.
So that's another safety car.
Boys are on track. The safety car has rolled out. Safety car has done more laps than Ashbarella in this race now.
So we shouldn't see anyone go into the pits unless they need to get some repairs.
Leaders now come around to pick up car. Bright lights as well.
It's a shame for Josh Horton, buried in the wall there.
Come with Matty. Does occasionally have some issues from time. So Tom Freer up 13 spots into 7th. Saw some great passing going on. Main Street probably a little bit lucky. Safety car came out when it did. Expected to go down. And the other man to talk about still up 10 spots in P3, Dave Coleman. This will be helping the cause with 10 laps to go.
Absolutely, and he's lucky he's got a teammate rear gunner behind him, so I would imagine that Michael Angus will be playing pretty nice with him. So yeah, it's a real advantage for Dave there as we're just getting some wave bys done.
Be 1 or 2. Probably Wallace, Honkin, main two in that situation.
Yeah, I don't think Wallace should be out on track.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Lap un
Well, yeah, once we go green, we'll have 9 laps to go, so not a lot of laps. It's a fairly quick lap around here, or a minute and a half roughly. So not too much more time for the boys to jostle for position. So at the moment, P15, which I believe will start from pole,
Honkin.
Steve Tongan, who's just got a wave around, so he doesn't have to do much to secure pole position except finish in his current position.
They definitely interesting with the number of drivers that have dropped out. It's done by Ash. He's probably expecting a few more cars as well. Back to sprint format. The boys saying that they want to do sprint races, so two of them aren't here. Expect the safety car to pull away this lap.
boys who have got the wave rounds are just catching up to the back of the pack now, so definitely going green after this lap. Safety car's pulling away now.
Dylan is out from the group. Up the throttle, speed his AMG. Unique car sounds on the racing platform. Pit lane. See what Dylan does this time.
Yeah, does the opposite of what he did last time. Jumps
Yep.
early.
And we are green flag racing already. Dave Coleman managed to hang on to the back of Dylan Rudd.
He's definitely under pressure from his teammate this time around, and his teammate's under pressure from Visma, so things are pretty tightly bunched at the moment.
And Freya having a look on Stone Street and gets the job done there as well. So he's up another spot, moves him into 6th.
Definitely know Tom's going to be fighting to try and get on that podium from here.
Still fairly well bunched up in the mid-pack. Thomas has a little bit of a look on Stone Street. Gordon Ross flying into this battle as well. Aidan Kale. There's some quick drivers in this group. Jump back up with Anthony Visma.
Yeah, Freya's really applying the blowtorch to Visma at the moment. Visma harassing the back of Michael Angus, and Dave Coleman's been able to just break free a little bit, which will give him a little bit of breathing space, and Michael Angus playing the role of rear gunner for him at the moment.
Having a look here. Keep your eye. Visma goes to the inside. Freya switches to the inside as well. I don't think he's going to get it done. Going to have a look. Oh, good driving from Visma.
Visma saw him at the last minute. Visma was pretty good under brakes there, but Tom just absolutely sent it, and Visma did spot him, gave him some space. In a season gone by, we probably would have seen big netcode contact there, but we're not seeing it like we used to, which is great news for the drivers.
As Tom Freya now starts to line up, Michael Angus. See that podium place. You can see Coleman just in front of him. Got 7 laps to go.
Going to be a long 7 laps, I think, for Dave Coleman.
Bit of brush of the wall there for Angus. Ooh, I reckon Free might have brushed the wall there as well.
Yeah, that could have easily ended up with some suspension or wheel damage there. I think he's got away with it.
The right front's looking okay, left, right, he's got away with it. Push, perhaps starting to drop down in this race. Angus and Coleman doing really well here, holding off the hard charging Tom Frere. Tom, that lap, 10th slower than what Angus was. 1/10 quicker than Coleman.
I think that big brush on the wall cost him some time. I was just trying to double check whether he lost any top end speed going down the strand there, but it looks like the car is okay and he managed to get around the same top end that he did the previous lap. So looking like Tom's got away with that one.
Battling hard still. The other battle on track at the moment, of course, Jordan Ross still battling away with Jeff Thomas. Roy Stone Street just in front of these guys as well.
A little bit of a lock up there from Stone Street.
The pressure on. Jump on with Angus. Frere's getting close enough now to have a look. That move to the inside again, coming down the Central Avenue, and he is through. Pressure is now on Dave Coleman to hang on to that podium position.
Going on what we've seen from Tom Frere tonight, I've got a feeling that that position is going to be very, very tough to hold on to. Tom Frere just showing how good he is under the brakes.
Closing very quickly. Taking 2/10 out of Coleman, this sector.
Yeah, Coleman real squiggly under brakes there.
The race leader just starting lap 24 or 27, so they are definitely ticking down.
Yeah, only 4 to go.
The bridge down Central Avenue. Got to come down here 3 more times.
That's a good exit there from Coleman. He was able to maintain that gap.
Frere is mighty under brakes. His gap now down 3/10.
Another critical one down the end of the strand here. Looks like Frere's been able to make a little bit of ground going up the ramp.
Under 2/10 now. This gap closing quickly. Frere right in the slipstream. Comes in. Right up behind. Coleman now under all sorts of pressure. Around the cricket pitch, onto Sunset Drive. Big battle with these two. Frere would be thinking down Central Avenue's got to have him here. They come through heading down Central Avenue.
Coleman's going to go defensive early.
Yep. And holds him off. Forces Free to the wide. He gets a little bit of wheel spin coming out there. Oh, Dave. What are you going to do, son? Got to go down the strand next.
They just clipped that curb at the wrong angle and just sent the car a little bit sideways. Looks like he's going to be under pressure this time because Freya's been able to sit right behind him heading up the strand.
Dave's going to stay defensive. Freya not able to get the job done. They're going to have 2 more laps down Central, 2 more times down Central Avenue and down the strand. So Freya's opportunity starting to run out here. Back on to Sunset Drive. The Angus and Visma in the background starting to latch onto this battle. Head down again.
A great exit from turn 2 from Coleman there.
Yeah, done very well. Made up a bit of ground on Freya. A little battle still going on a bit further back. Jordan Ross still tucked up behind Jeff Thomas. Thomas tucked up behind Stone Street. These guys here still having an epic battle of their own. This is the battle.
Aidan Kale as well in this one, John.
Really a bit of action a little bit further back. Going to go back up, see if Freya gets the run this time down the strand. I don't think he has. Lap traffic in front of these lads as well. As a twitch background. As our race leader, James Scott, has taken the white flag for the last lap. What can Tom Freya do? Can he get a foot on that podium?
And Coleman didn't get the run he got last lap. Goes defensive early. Parks a car in the middle of the track.
Got to give room to Freya. They managed to squeeze through there together. Coleman still in front. Freya now, last chance he's going to have at it's going to be down the strand. The gap to Dylan Rudd has opened up to 7 seconds. These boys are having an epic battle here. He's probably going to hang himself inside as far as he can here. And Freya, twitches but can't get it done.
Still plenty of tricky corners to come here.
Freya, right up underneath. Slightly different line coming back onto Sunset. Coleman's got to hold his nerve. That's James Scott is our race winner. Second will be Dylan Rudd. Third will be Dave Coleman from Tom Freya. Michael Angus will bring it home in 5th place. 6th place will be Visma. 7th, Stone Street from Thomas. Aidan Kale and Martin Lofthouse. Not sure what happened to Jordan Ross. He stopped and exited already. Not sure what happened to Jordan Ross. He was passed by Thomas. That Thomas got past him. Bit of a wiggle there. Switches over to the next one, so I can't. As we've got 5-minute warm up. Might just take the opportunity. I didn't get the opportunity to quickly run through the points at start of cast going. Run through those while we get the opportunity. James Scott, our overall leader. Damien Johnstone in third. Zach Rattray White sitting. Jacob O'Reilly, Martin Lofthouse, Justin Wallace, Troy Stone Street, and Zachary Vlasbom about our top 10. And if we go and have a look at our Pro Series drivers, that should be fairly similar with Scott, Ross, Johnstone, Rattray White, O'Reilly, Vlasbom. And we have Dylan Rudd, Bo Albert, Gilliam in 10. Our Super 2 drivers, Steve Tompkins leading that battle from JWM from Justin Watts. Martin Lofthouse sitting in third. Troy Stone Street in fourth. Great heading. Dash Barella, Andrew Hoffman, so with family. Eighth, Dave Coleman in ninth from Fishy, Joe Martin. Our Vets boys, Stone Street first, WK&P. Jeff Thomas second, Andrew Hoffman, Sean McNamara, and Jim. Round out those. What we might do, might take the opportunity to quickly throw in an ad break and set ourselves so that we go at the start of next heat.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small. Some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
And welcome back. As down another 2 minutes. And look forward to how this one plays out. A couple of talking points, of course, is first grid top 15 reversed. And saying to myself, thing to look out for is the fact that you can get the job done. Tom Ferrer has proven it, getting himself up the order like he did to get himself into place. So it is possible for these guys. Looking forward to seeing how the likes of James Scott and co work on getting the job done. We just need to be working ourselves through the pack cleanly. Should be very, very interesting if that's the case.
Absolutely. I think the only one that seems like we're missing at the moment is Zach Rattray White and Ash Barella, which I don't think he actually started the race last time. So, yeah, going to be a very interesting opening couple of laps with the reverse top 15.
Yeah, looking they can do there with that one. Chuck up some pictures. Reg James. It's drivers in the series out on track tonight, which is good. And of course looks after all the graphics as well. So greatly appreciated person in our community. And Jacob O'Reilly out there turning some laps as well. An ever improving driver is Jacob. Seeing what he can do. Got a bit of luck as we've hit the end of the warm-up. Over to race mode very shortly. Pop up so everyone can have that one going into this with first. It is Steve Tonkin will start on the front row alongside Reg James from WK&P. Craig Schultz from 95 Sim Sports on the second row with Joe Marnie from the Electrical Race on Oz. Third row, Jordan Ross from Synergy Sim Racing. Be the hare to everybody else. Be the bunny they'll all be chasing. Martin Lofthouse from JWM in sixth. In seventh is Aidan Kale from BE Electrical. Starting behind Ross, expect him to keep the pressure on. Ross as well. Jeff Thomas in there in eighth. Stone Street in ninth, lining up alongside Visma. Michael Angus in 11th, lines up alongside Tom Freer back there on the sixth row. And over the page, Dave Coleman will line up alongside Dylan Rudd. And James Scott will line up alongside Josh Horton. Dylan Motors Esports. Justin Wallace from BE Race on Oz in 17th, lines up alongside Zach Rattray White. Hasn't taken the... And Brady Baldwin is the next one. We are racing. Get up the front. And we are away. And it looks like Steve Tonkin's going to be relatively clear. Reg James has already let through a few boys. As we head down the startaway, Brady Baldwin involved in something. I'll come back and have a look at that in a second. Looks like he's got the car going again, but Steve Tonkin's going to lead him through turn 3 for the first time. Look, he's got a good jump. Craig Schultz tucked in behind. Jordan Ross in there. Reg James in 5th. James Scott's moved up to 16th. He lost a spot somewhere in the middle there as well. And
I think James was involved with the Brady Baldwin one and just got checked up as a car went into the wall. We've got another car in the wall. I think it could
Josh
be
Horton. Yep. Oh, big lock up from Schultz. Him and Tonkin go side by side. A little bit of battling at the front as well. Hang on to your hats here.
James Scott and Jacob O'Reilly just brushing panels there, but James has been able to get through.
Definitely a bit of work. He's alongside Dylan Rudd, alongside Michael Angus. Gets the job done through there. The battle up the front here.
And Rudd definitely got a great opening lap there.
Might just quickly try and have a look at what happened to Brady Baldwin at the start. Just quickly jump on Supercheap Auto replay. Looks like there was a stalled car in the middle there, which didn't help the cause a bit. And a little bit of a tap going 3 wide into turn 1. And Horton, he's just gone a little bit deep to the corner. And in a little bit deep and into the tyre barrier there, coming off Picnic Avenue. So that was the action from first opening lorry. Continuing on here, Jordan Ross having a big look at Schultz.
Cracking job from Steve Tonkin out front here. He probably hasn't been in the situation where he's led a race with the quality of field that he's got behind him, but doing a great job. Jordan Ross really applying the blowtorch to Schultz, while Schultz trying to apply the blowtorch to Tonkin. We've got a little bit of a gap back to Reg James, and then Tom Freer lurking in the background in P5.
Yeah, definitely moving forward. And Dylan Rudd now has got himself up into 10th.
That's a great opening couple of laps from Dylan Rudd.
Yeah, looking very composed. A little bit of work to do though to get on the back of Stone Street. Marnie and Thomas, I think of a battle here. A couple of the JWM boys having a good look. Baldwin involved in something as well. Coleman's had an early pit stop. Let's just have a quick look what's happened to Baldwin.
Baldwin's just come out from the pits as well.
Yeah, that's
so
what I thought.
Sure.
Coming down the back of the strand, just got it a little bit loose off the curb. That's not going to help the cause.
Yeah, definitely not the night Brady was hoping for, I'm sure.
It's a tough track. It's a tough track to get the car around, let alone push the car, let alone race the car. These boys are all doing a sensational job as Dylan Rudd gets through on Stone Street. That moves him up to 9th. James Scott is up 3 spots now into 12th. He's got the thick of the battle in front of him. Oh, there was a little bit of contact there. I'm not sure exactly who it was. Might have been James, I think. I'll have a quick look, see if this was it here. Supercheap Auto replay. But James ducked into the pits, so not sure what the go was. Have at the live pictures. Rigby in the chat, someone coming out of the lane there, so this is getting all a bit hectic. Few cars getting the early stop in. Shout out Sean Rigby as well. And big cluster coming in here. Scott's got his way past the bulk of that group. Dylan Rudd has worked his way past Marnie now. Jeff Thomas in front of him. Tom Freer is already up 8 spots, Mark.
Yeah, Tom's having a cracking night tonight. He's really kind of put the blowtorch on Schultz. Look like Jordan Ross has got past all of them and is now leading the race. Freer up past Schultz on this lap at the end of the strand there. So Freer into P3 and you've got Tonkin just in front of him.
Definitely some good overtaking happening. Lofthouse involved in something on lap 4. Just going to have a quick look at the Supercheap Auto replay. What's Lofty done? Gone a bit deep. Just clipped the wall. That will affect the wheel alignment of that entry from JWM. Go back to live picks. And Tonkin now under pressure from Freer, sorry. Tom, of course, had plenty of practice in the first heat. To the inside, that was his signature move to get it done on Central Avenue. And he moves in to make it a synergy 1-2. And Aiden, Cale and Marnie. What do they
That's not what you want to see from a teammate.
I was about to say that. What's rule number 1? Don't take out your teammate. Let's have a look here on the Supercheap Auto replay. An overtake from James Scott has left one a little bit wide. The other one's had a bit of a look. I'd say both cars have got going from that one. A few cars in the wars at the moment.
Probably to be expected with a reverse grid race, but on the whole, I think everybody's done a pretty good job out there so far with not too much damage to cars happening. So I'm sure Cale and Mahoney will be asking a few questions of each other there.
Yep. That'll be a good little discussion back in the motorhome later. As we're back here now, have a look at Dylan Rudd. We got Tonkin, Schultz in front of him. Super 2 drivers. It's from 95 Sim Sports. Team where those boys know how to drive. There's game on. After that, it'll be classic Lob Esports versus Synergy Sim Racing battle up the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig Schultz from 95 doing a stellar job out there in P3 at the moment. We've got Steve Tonkin behind him, but we've got a very fast Dylan Rudd closing in quickly on these two. And then just behind Dylan, we've got Jeff Thomas and then James Scott looking to make a move on Jeff. So lots of things happening inside this top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. So have a look here quickly. Jacob O'Reilly, he's up 10 spots in 10th. He's had a good dash through this one. The outside to get it done on Stone Street. Can he hang there? Stone Street plays it smart, lets him through. Moves O'Reilly into the top 10. Of course, Justin
Oh,
Wallace.
someone in the wall there.
Yep, that is
Jeff
Thomas. That was pretty hard. Came slow out of the corner. I think he had damage earlier. That car just didn't want to turn. So that may be a safety car coming. Moving on. Ed Coleman is back in 12th. Ross out in front. And that car is still stationary at the top of Sunset Drive.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not in contact with race control. It just looked like he's had a component failure there. Looks like either his wheel or something has stopped working.
And O'Reilly just gets the job done on Michael Angus, so that gives him a bit of clear air in front of him now to push ahead. Safety car back in the pit lane, so not sure what's happened there.
Safety car's been called now, so Tom Freer's gonna. Oh no, he keeps going.
Ross is pitted. Has he? Pick up where I am here. Jeez.
Yeah, Jordan Ross is in the lane.
Ross is in the lane. Schultz, Rudd, Tonkin, Stone Street, Visma, and Baldwin. And just trying to work out. Scott stayed out. Angus has stayed out, and Wallace has stayed out. Rudd's gone in. Just trying to find the safety car now. He has picked up James Scott. So what's going on here? Be a bit of a wave around here, boys. Come back to the pack. Anyway, we'll see what they do. An easy gig when you're two up in race control. Safety cars. And I'll help see if I put on the safety car light. Well, safety car is the AMG Mercedes, and brought to you by Complete Scaffold.
So that's cost James Scott dearly there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really damaged his race. He'll be hoping for another safety car to get back on terms now.
He's gone in the pit lane this time. That is the old tough roll of the dice. Safety cars are not the easiest thing in the world to manage. Not the easiest thing in the world for everybody to be a winner from them, so. James back out in 10th. O'Reilly back out in 9th. 3 and 11th. Tom Freer is our race leader. And got a bit of distance to make up to catch up to the train, I think. Going on in. Rich was also having some issues trying to flick between iRace Control and iRacing itself as well, so it doesn't help.
Yeah, we've got currently we've got Freya in P1, Jordan Ross P2, Dave Coleman once again using the strategy to get into P3, Craig Shaw's P4, Dylan Rudd P5, Steve Tongan P6.
Yes. Rough night in the office. Feel these boys. Dirty, gritty street racing.
I think the boys just got to catch their breath, not stress too much about what's happened, and I'm pretty sure we may see another safety car before the race finishes. So,
And not to mention too, we haven't even reached half race distance yet, so
yeah, we're currently on lap 10 of 27, so we've still got 17 and a half laps to go at the moment. We'll probably do one more lap under the safety car. So probably looking at like we're going to have about 16 laps of green flag racing once we get a restart.
there's back now has pretty much caught up. A couple of stragglers out the back still. Lofthouse and James.
I'm sure James is probably feeling a little bit frustrated after getting caught behind the safety car there, but we know how skillful he is behind the wheel. He's got plenty of laps to make his way forward and still get a good finishing position. So at the moment we've got Freya and Ross from Synergy Sim Racing out front and Dave Coleman in P3. So interesting times ahead for some of these quicker guys at the back of the top 10 here.
Yeah, expect them to make some moves. And of course the field's all bunched up again, so if someone like James Scott, you're now only a couple of seconds really from the lead of the race. A couple of cars in the way, but still in the battle. Dave Coleman just peeled off into the pit. It's an interesting move.
Yeah, it is an interesting move because that will be his second pit stop.
Yeah. Up and down on the jacks, so not sure what the go was there. That's one spot already. For a few of the boys that were caught out by the safety car. I think of as maybe in that first stop he didn't put the car up and down on the jacks. There's getting a wave around. Guys getting the wave by it. So keep an eye out. Go green racing. Keep an eye out for James Scott back in 9th. Keep an eye out as well Dylan Rudd, who's in 4th. Expect him to go knocking on the door of the podium. Craig Schultz from 9.5 Sim Sports sitting in 3rd at the moment. Safety car pulls away. That AMG roar. There's a safety car driver, Matty McMillan, keeps it off the walls. And Tom Freer now has control of when this race starts. And we are off. We are green flag racing. He's caught Ross napping there. Managed to get 4 or 5 car lengths before he's even gotten to the line. Great start from Tom Freer. What can Ross do now? Can he come back? Ross under a bit of pressure from Schultz behind. Dylan Rudd looking to get into this battle as well.
Clearly Tom's Discord button not working there. I was telling Ross the boss when he was going.
Yeah. Hey Tom, absolutely flying here. Good little battle a bit further back. Dylan Rudd, very racy on Craig Schultz. Craig here would be looking, try and hold off Rudd. Still former teammates. Gonna go down the inside, bottom of the strand, and gets the job done. Moves Dylan Rudd onto the podium.
James Scott was able to get past a couple of cars on that lap as well. Got past Aidan Cale and Anthony Visma by the look of it. Now on the back of Troy Stone Street.
Across the start finish line. And he's looking at Stone Street. Going into turn 1. Oh, little wall. Backs out of it, redresses it. Now to have a look coming down to the bottom of Central Avenue. In Stone Street a bit wide into the tyre barrier. You can see the wheels wobbling on that car.
Aidan Cale as well into the tyre barrier. Oh, Stone Street straight into the barriers there.
Yeah, I
Looks
think
like he couldn't turn in.
No.
Aidan Cale the same. We're
That's
probably
the
going to
first
see
one.
another safety car.
yeah, that's the first one. And Stone Street with that wheel damage. Can't turn in and stuck on the wall there. And Cale parked behind him. Cale can reverse and get out of the way. Yep. Yeah, that new damage model bouncing off the tyre walls. Yeah, some serious damage. Car still stationary.
This is what we saw the last race, sorry. Early, safety car midpoint of the race roughly, and then another safety car back to back. So pretty similar scenario at this stage. We've still got what have we got? 13 and a half laps to go. So still plenty of time for these boys, but James got probably a little bit desperate on that move. Something we don't normally see him there. I thought he might have waited till he went down the straight there, but tried to get the move done early and didn't pan out. So I'm not sure if James is carrying any damage now.
Possibly be scenario. Under safety car. Main Street there against. Just wondering whether James might have picked up a bit of damage as well from that contact. Another possible scenario. So Troy may have gotten steering damage from that.
Yeah, James definitely not showing a meatball at the moment, so yeah, fingers crossed he's good to go. But the car that was showing exceptional pace after that restart was Dylan Rudd. he was catching Jordan Ross in front of him, hands over fist, and he's probably a little disappointed to have another safety car come out.
Too happy with it. But it does bunch him back up again. Does create opportunity to go.
Going green on this lap, so we'll see the safety car pull away shortly. Safety car goes now. At the moment we've got Freo, Ross, Rudd, Schultz, Tonkin, James Scott, Justin Wallace, is it? I'm not sure who's behind.
James Scott, and we've got Anthony Visma.
Visma, sorry.
Yeah, Visma, O'Reilly, Angus Coleman in 10th, Justin Wallace in 11th, Lofthouse, James Horton, Arnie. As he's gone early, Tom has blasted away.
He's got the jump on Jordan once again.
No team orders there.
James Scott really applying the blowtorch to Tonkin. Looks like he's going to get that job halfway down the straight with a great exit out of turn 2.
Yeah, Tonkin a little bit bumpy over the bridge. And Visma having a look in the background there as well.
Very tight there between them.
Very tight.
Visma gets the job done in the end.
Too wide going up there with Angus and O'Reilly.
A bit of contact there with Angus and O'Reilly. I'm pretty sure O'Reilly would not want Angus to make a move under that situation.
Too wide going into the cricket pitch complex. And O'Reilly manages to hang on to that position. Craig Schultz now under a lot of pressure from James Scott.
Sorry, John, I was just going to say that was a great bit of driving from O'Reilly there to hang on after being compromised with a bit of a touch going up the ramp there before they headed down the strand. So he done really well to hang on to that position.
Exceptional. That's Dylan Rudd starting to put a bit of pressure on Jordan Ross. It's going to go a bit further back. Martin Lofthouse, he's in a battle here. Dustin Wallace. And Wallace in front, putting pressure on Coleman. And Angus in that one there. And Jordan Ross now getting the blowtorch applied by Dylan Rudd. Turn to head down the strand. What can Rudd do this time by? A lot of pressure being applied. And James Scott having a move here on Schultz. He gets the job done. Visma a bit loose in the background. He's going to try and have a look there as well. As James Scott moves himself to 4th. Jordan Ross now has Lobs Esports car of Dylan Rudd right behind. As he pull out, he looks. Ross defends the inside. Looks for the over-under. You get it done. Some very defensive driving with Jordan Ross. We go too wide still. A little bit of contact. Ross not going to give it away though. Great panel rubbing. It's up the inside. Going on to the strand. Here comes James Scott. These boys want to play. I'm coming. And still a little bit of tapping. Oh, and that Scott has missed it. They've all missed that. We'll go to the replay there. Try and get that from another angle.
Sure what Jordan was doing. They're constantly coming across on road going up the straight, but leave that one for race control.
A little bit of James Scott blocked there. A little bit another contact. Leave that for race control well and truly. I think a little bit of damage model testing might have been going on there, I think. We might just call it that. It's continuing on here. Jordan Ross has got himself going. Again, he's back in 5th spot. Dylan Rudd is in 4th. James Scott back in 13th. So it took him a little while to recover. And Craig Schultz has probably just licked his lips there. And gone P2. High five Sim Sports. Anthony Visma tucked up behind. Dylan Rudd back on the battle here. Just have a quick look at the side panels of Dylan's car. At the right side. That looks fairly straight on that side. Fairly straight on that side. As he looks to make a move here on Visma. Down, gets the job done. So Dill moves into P3. The Viz will be happy. He's up 6 spots there, sitting in 4th. O'Reilly in 5th. He's up 15 spots. Watching Visma and Co battle in front. Jordan Ross would be looking to get back into it. Plenty of action even further back. Coleman under a bit of pressure, putting the pressure on Tonkin as well. These boys will know they've done 2 sprint races when they finish tonight. Hey, Dylan now hasn't managed to break away from Visma. Visma's managed to hang on here. Oh, is that contact? That car's got steering damage now. That is right in trouble. This is what I was saying earlier on this evening, Mark. You cannot bounce off the tyre walls anymore without bending the steering. Rudd going to try and get this back around. It is crabbing. And it is a tough drive for anybody to get back to the lane. May have to park that up. We'll just see how he goes. Jump back up the front here. The man in P2 now. And Craig Schultz. Anthony Visma P3. Craig goes a bit loose. Coming into the cricket pitch complex. Managed to just hang on to that. This is absolutely action everywhere at the moment. So Tom Freer's 8 seconds up the road.
Boys got a little bit desperate by the look of it in this race. Seeing stuff that we haven't seen previously. It looked like the contact between Rudd and Visma was a little bit of neck code actually when I just looked at the replay. Visma gets past Schultz now.
Definitely good battle on here. See cars on screen. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Ross looking to get into the action. Jacob O'Reilly looking to get into the action. Here, Visma can't get the power down. They've excited those tyres up. Wait and see as we get down towards the end of the strand. Schultz coming back at him. Up 20 or 27. Still plenty of time left for these guys to make a mistake.
We're not talking about making moves, John. We're talking about making mistakes now.
Yeah.
But, James Scott has just been able to sneak back into the top 10. He's got Joe Mahoney just in front of him at the moment, but all the action is from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th at the moment.
Definitely a great little battle with this group here. Just going to jump across from his view. And Rudd involved. I know still and Rudd's still going there, whether he's stopped or not. That's still trying to get it back to the pits. Gordon Ross here having the best view of this battle in front of him. Ross in fifth, looking here at O'Reilly, Schultz and Visma. Ah, Visma into the wall! Visma! He has found that tyre barrier, and I think, oh, hello. Schultz is involved in that as well. Gonna go back to the replay. Yeah, he's bounced into that. Schultz's steering's been damaged.
I think Schultz got damaged and just couldn't turn in.
Turn in, yep.
So we got another safety car. This is probably what James Scott was hoping for.
So that just shows that that damage model really is very, very tricky.
Certainly something I hope some of the Vets boys are watching to remember for Thursday night that you're really going to have to be patient.
Yep, be patient. Gonna have to try and keep it off those tyre walls.
Because as we saw there, Craig Schultz did absolutely nothing wrong, just Anthony Visma made the mistake in front of him. He had nowhere to go and ended up damaging his own steering. Went to turn into, I think, turn 4 or 5 there, just had no turn and basically went just head on into the wall.
So Wallace, Visma, Rudd, Reg James, Horton were in the lane. I think a couple of those towards the end may have been parked up before that happened. Tom Freer sitting in P1 by 11 spots. Jacob O'Reilly and now sees himself after all those two cars we just go past bouncing around. He moves himself into P2. So great drive from Jacob, up 18 spots. Jordan Ross up 2 spots in third, sitting on the podium as well. Michael Angus in fourth. Dave Coleman in fifth. Stone Street in sixth. James Scott now in seventh. Mahoney in eighth. And Justin Wallace in ninth. So definitely going to be a bit of a shake-up. It's out for this one.
Yeah, definitely going to need a calculator tonight. So we've got 5.5 laps to go at the moment. I don't think we'll go green on this one. So we may have a 4-lap dash at the end here.
Yeah, it will be flurry. So just see what some of these boys do, how they go about it. Precaution to the wind, or have an absolute after and protect the points you're going to get. Question. Dave Coleman sitting in fifth moment. Freer, driver of the night at the moment. How many spots James Scott can make up? Dave Coleman though sitting in fifth, P3 in the first race. Freer 1 and 4. Results.
A great drive from Jacob O'Reilly in this race. We know he didn't finish race 1, but he's come from the back of the grid to be currently P2. So great work from Jacob. Tom Freer definitely looks to have great pace around this track tonight.
Yeah, started off the back race 1, managed to work his way through smart driving. Cars going by. Great smart driving from Tom Freer in race 1 to get himself up into 4. Race here is very clever. Way up into The up 11 spots to first. O'Reilly off the back of the grid into P2. Spots third. Angus up 7 spots. Fourth. Coleman up 8 spots. Fifth. And Coleman had that second stop as well. We don't really know what that was for. And battle of attrition. This race here is we look pit lane at the moment with Lofthouse, Visma, Rudd, Edge, James, and Horton. Brody only managed to get 2 laps done in this one. McNamara can't wait for Thursday night.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting race Thursday night, especially if we've got 40, 45, 50 cars on track instead of 20. So, yeah, like we've seen tonight, one person make a mistake and it can cost other drivers their race. So, yeah, going to be an interesting night, that's for sure. But we've still got a race to finish here. We've going to have 4 laps to go. I think the safe will be going green on this lap. Dylan Rudd, unfortunately, made a great drive in race 2, but just went too deep coming into turn 3 there and just hit the wall and just destroyed the car. So that's ruined his night. But at the moment, Tom Freer is in the box seat.
Definitely. Plenty to roll out. But at the top of the show, drive smarter, not harder. They do these sprint races. First grid. Bit hard for some people though.
I kind of feel like the middle part of this race we saw after that, just saw a few desperate moves that we don't normally see, and it cost themselves more than anything their own races. So, and it's probably just not the track to try a desperate move.
There's plenty of time and another safety car coming. So.
Right, safety cars left the field. We've got Tom Freer holding the lead. He's got control of the pack at the moment, and we're going green this time around.
Tom went early last time. Yeah, this time he's away. Gone earlier.
Tom just wants to get this win over and done with.
Avenue.
James Scott making a move on Steve Tonkin already into turn 1, now looking to get past Coleman. Gets that one done.
Scott up to 5th. Still see Freer up ahead. Angus is the next car in front of him. Drive onto the strand. And sends it. Pulls it up. And now has Jordan Ross, Ken, James Scott get onto the podium.
He sold Michael Angus a bit of a dummy there, tucked in behind him, looking like he was going to just hold position, and then just pulled out at the last minute, sent it, and was able to pull the move off nice and cleanly.
O'Reilly still holding second spot, about 6/10 behind Freer. Jordan Ross keeping the pressure on him though, only 5/10 behind. Amanda watching these last couple of laps, there's 1.2 behind. Scott coming like a torpedo.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to have enough laps to get there. He's only got 2.5 to go. What he needs is Jordan Ross to start getting in a bit of a battle with Jacob O'Reilly, so they slow themselves up.
Working on. Got that gap down 2/10. What's Ross would be that carrot for the podium. Have seen James, big Logitech G Pro Series races, back off some immaculate results. So the boy does know how to drive and drive hard. So keep an eye on this. This battle will well and truly not over. He's taken 4/10 out of Ross this lap. Freya would be loving these two behind battling a little bit. A championship leader, P4. Tough night in the office.
Well, considering where he was a few laps ago, off track after contact with Jordan Ross and Dylan Rudd going up the strand, he's done an incredible job to get back to P4. He was also held up behind the safety car, if we can recall.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Could be a case of what might have been, really. We've only got a lap and a half to go here. The gap to Ross now is pretty negligible, but I still don't think he's going to be close enough to get that foot on the podium at the moment.
Close it right down now. It's now down to 4/10. Was 1.2, remember? There'll be a last lap dive. Been a great drive though. Boys have definitely turned it on tonight. So we take the white flag. See what happens here. Got 4 cars all within eyesight of each other. Got that gap down now to 3/10. Right up behind Jordan Ross. Go, can he get the drive out of here? Watch the numbers. It's not closing quick enough. 0.26, 0.24, 0.21. Nah. Great drive though by Jordan Ross. Great drive by Jacob O'Reilly, Tom Freya. Good. James Scott in 4th. Probably already talking up Freya. Scott's probably not giving up on this yet. Great drive. Takes the checkered flag. Tom Freya, O'Reilly, Ross, James Scott. In 5th, Michael Angus. Great drive for Fishy. Coleman home in 6th. Justin Wallace in 10th. Steve Tonkin will bring it home in... Not 10th, Wallace was 7th. Tonkin will bring it home in 8th. Arnie home in 9th. Roy Stone Street home in 10th. And Dale home in 11th. So, a few boys caught out in the wars. But Tom Freya absolutely turned it on, Mark.
Yeah, great night from Tom Freya. I think James Scott probably in the end there realised that he probably bagged more points than that was really on offer for him after some of his earlier mishaps with the safety car and the Jordan Ross incident. So James really got out of jail there, I think, with some great driving. But yeah, Tom Frere definitely had some great pace tonight, made plenty of passes, and yeah, just drove exceptionally well in that final race. So tallying up the points, I'm not sure what the round numbers are, but I think Frere and Scott will be pretty close on points. I think they both had a first and a fourth.
Yeah, pretty much it. Can't really quite work out who the other player would be in the box, to be honest. Dave Coleman.
Yeah, I was about to say, quite possibly Dave Coleman. Riley didn't finish the first race. I think Ross was about 11th or 12th. So yeah, I got a feeling it could be Dave Coleman, to be honest.
Come in and chat to us. Oh, we'll get them all. What are you? How are we, boys?
Yeah, good boys. Good.
How did you all find that one? Doing some mental arithmetic in our head, but yeah. And Scott and maybe Coleman might be the main protagonists. But while we've got these boys here, we'll have a couple of chats anyway. We've got Jacob O'Reilly. That was a great drive in that last race, Jacob.
Yeah, cheers, boys. It was interesting, that's for sure.
Very interesting. Did really well, mate. It was the drive from the back, and a guy who dictated the drive from the back, who showed how it could be done from race one, of course, was Tom Frere. How'd you find leading that one, Tom?
Yeah, it was okay. I didn't really deserve to be there, but you just take your luck when it comes, I guess. I just want to say a big thanks to the safety car.
A little bit of that. And while I've got Jordan in here, are you doing a little bit of testing of the new damage model, mate?
How good was that? That's what we need every week. Good fun.
I was surprised because like you boys brush against that tyre barrier, bottom of Avenue, and that's it. Steering's gone, and then with you and Dill going tap 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 tap, and nothing happened.
Yeah, it was good. We were given as good as we got. It was a bit of fun. That's how it should be.
You were worried about in terms of across the board with Pro Series and everything else. You were worried about what the damage model would do, but I think that sort of gives you confidence. You can still run side by side.
Yeah, no, it was all good, mate. It was fun. I was glitching out hard all race. I need to go and chuck this PC in the bin, get a fresh one. It's a bit hard on the old eyes tonight. I'll be having an epileptic fit in my sleep tonight.
Not good at all. Couple other guys have dropped in. Dave Coleman. Please explain. Luck with more luck.
I'll probably thank race control and the safety car.
I was
say that. I'll just thank safety car luck.
I was just going to say, I'll take you to the casino after this.
I'll put all my money on everything. I reckon I'll win. Hey, I did the right thing race too. I thought, because I only took a fast repair in the first pit stop, I thought I better go on the jacks. So I had to do 2 stops in the last race.
So you didn't go on the jacks in that first one?
Oh, I thought the fast repair would do it, but yeah, I should have taken half a litre because I didn't actually take tyres that race. So yeah.
Strategy. Those bets, boys. Dylan, how'd you find that? Rod?
Yeah, it was a bit of fun coming through the field there. Got a bit interesting at the end there. I think we played bumper cars on the back straight a bit, and don't think it ended well for anyone.
For as saying that before, it was a good little test of the damage model though. Like you can
rub
a little bit.
It was okay.
Yeah, the car's held up. You just can't touch the walls too hard.
Can't touch the tyre barriers more. And of course, James Scott, our championship leader, had got the other side of the dice to Dave Coleman tonight. So a little bit of bad luck with the safety cars, etc. Mate, you came storming home there in the end.
No, car was good. We'll press on to next week.
next week. All good, boys. Of course, next week we are back to Pro Series mode.
I'm going to go.
Sorry, Scott.
I'm going to leave, guys. I'm going to
Yep.
go have some chips and whack a bit of salt on them. I'll speak to you a bit later.
No worries. Next week we're of course back into Pro Series mode where we're doing the Road America. That one's probably going to be a bit of hard work for you boys. They all dumped you.
Yeah, if I'm here, just depends on work, etc. But yeah, I'd like to run it. Obviously, heading into Pro Series, but I don't know. I haven't really touched my sim since Watkins, and I think everyone knows how that ended. So I think I might just do the turn up on the night and hope it goes like this did.
Yeah, that's one way to play it.
No expectations. That's the way to roll, I reckon.
I think I've found talking with a few guys of late, and I've noticed is I think the ones that sort of have pulled back workload a bit in terms of the amount of prep that they've been doing are actually improving a little bit. In the sense that I think come race night, once something minor happens, doesn't stop them, if you know what I mean, doesn't jolt them. Where I think if you've done the 30, 40 hours of track practice and you've spent that time chasing that 100th of a second to go quicker and then get to the race itself and something happens, you miss, someone passes you going into a corner and you lose your rhythm, and I think it's the disappointment's a lot harder to take. They'd back it off a bit and just rock in. And when it does go bad, you go, well, that doesn't matter. And then when you have a bit of luck like you did, wow, this is great.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with that. Like, I don't think I've ever been more gutted leaving a race than I was at Watkins Glen. I was literally just thinking, why do I bother? Like, what's the point? And it sort of sucked because it was such a good year up until that point. And now it's just like, oh, you're back in nowhere land again. But in saying that, like, trying to be faster is great, but sometimes you just got to let it naturally happen, I guess. Like, I guess when you start chasing that 300th of a second or whatever you're chasing, you push so hard that you sort of forget to learn the rest of the track because you might focus on one area, you might do something a little bit differently, and you're so on edge that you're going to try to do that in the race and it's not going to unfold well. Whereas when you turn up with a little bit less laps, I think your ability to adapt to a situation is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Than when you're so in the window, I guess, or whatever your pace window is, or whatever. Like,
yeah.
One of the things I think I used to find when trying to find that 100th or a 10th of a second was, like I ended up just practicing bad habits in the end because I was so desperate to find it, and then I'd just practice bad habits for an hour and then kind of lose my way a bit. So, yeah, probably that natural evolution is the way to go.
Definitely agree.
Anyway, on that note, Tom, James Jordan's left. Do you want to give a shout out for the
Yeah, well, I think we're sponsorless. Hang on, let me look at my car. What do we got? Yeah, we're not sponsorless apparently. So Works Racing Components and Dr. Epoxy, thanks to them.
Yep.
And obviously Watercraft Performance Centre. And yeah, thanks to J-Ross for detonating the field. And the safety car for giving me P1. Too
easy. And I get asked this very often, Dave, but you want to give a shout out for the team?
Oh, I'd shout the team out. And Dunlop, they're on my car as well.
Something sounds fishy about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, we might wrap up our broadcast and we will see everybody again next week for another round. Of course, next week will be pro round, so expect field again of top drivers and a cracker from America.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
And people who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, and that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name. Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super.